Here's a secret that nobody ever tells you about being the person everyone seems to love. It is, without a doubt, one of the most exhausting jobs in the world. Does this sound like your life? You wake up, and before your feet even hit the floor, you're already in performance mode. Your first thoughts are about managing the emotions of everyone else in your life. You spend your day carefully navigating conversations to avoid any hint of conflict, and you constantly adjust your own behavior to make sure every single person around you feels perfectly at ease. We have become masters of this craft, turning the act of people pleasing into a high art form. Think about it. We will dedicate a full 20 minutes to composing the perfect, most inoffensive text message, agonizing over every word and emoji to ensure there's absolutely no room for misunderstanding. Yet, when it comes to our own needs, we can't even spare 2 minutes to ask ourselves a simple question like, what do I actually want for lunch? It's as if we're living as human chameleons, constantly changing our colors to blend in with our surroundings. The tragic difference is that a real chameleon, deep down, always knows it's green. We, on the other hand, have forgotten what our true color even is. Now, I'm about to share an uncomfortable truth, one that might challenge everything you've ever believed about what it means to be a good person. The act of people pleasing doesn't actually please people, not in any meaningful way. Take a moment and think about the individuals you respect the most in your life. Are they the ones who are constantly nodding in agreement with you? The ones who never dare to rock the boat? Who are always bending over backward to accommodate your every whim? Or are they the ones who challenge you, who speak their truth with conviction, and who show up as their authentic selves, even when it makes things a little uncomfortable? I think we both know the answer. We've fallen into a dangerous trap, one that convinces us that accommodation is the same as love. We've been led to believe that keeping everyone comfortable is the highest form of caring for them. But what are we really doing? We are robbing the people in our lives of the precious opportunity to know and to love the real us. We become so consumed with being the person we think others want us to be that we completely miss the most liberating secret of all. Being yourself is actually far less work, and it is infinitely more rewarding. I can almost guarantee that right now. As you're listening to this, you can think of at least 3 situations in your life where you are saying yes when you're entire. Being is screaming no. You're forcing a smile when you're seething with frustration. Or you're nodding along to an opinion that you fundamentally disagree with. We have been conditioned by society to believe that being nice means never, ever making anyone feel the slightest bit of discomfort. But the truth is, authentic, lasting relationships are not built on a foundation of niceness. They are built on a foundation of honest communication. That jarring moment of realization, when it hits you that you've been meticulously curating your life to look like someone else's Pinterest board, is a profound wake-up call. You've been living in a state of constant anxiety, wondering if the aesthetic you're projecting is you enough, without ever stopping to build a life that is actually yours. Let's explore a concept that might sound completely backward at first: the selfless, selfish paradox. What if I were to tell you that the most genuinely selfless people walking this earth are often the ones who have learned to live for themselves? I know, it sounds like a contradiction, but I need you to stay with me. Because grasping this idea will fundamentally change the way you think about service and generosity forever. Think again about those people who have had the most profound positive impact on your life. Were they desperately trying to please you? Were they constantly seeking your approval, molding themselves into a shape that they thought would fit your expectations? Or were they simply being themselves, unapologetically and authentically? The teacher who completely shifted your perspective on the world, the friend who had the courage to tell you a hard truth you needed to hear, the leader who inspired you to become a better version of yourself, none of them were performing for your approval. They were living from a place of deep, authentic truth. Herein lies the paradox that can flip your entire understanding of human connection upside down. When you commit to living for yourself authentically and truthfully, you automatically begin to serve others in a more powerful and meaningful way. It's like the difference between a flashlight with dying batteries weakly and desperately trying to cast a faint glow across a dark room, versus a fully charged beacon that effortlessly and brilliantly illuminates everything and everyone around it. People pleasing, at its core, is actually a subtle and insidious form of control. We accommodate, we bend, we agree because we want something in return. We want people to like us, to stay with us, to approve of us, to validate our existence. But authentic living operates from a completely different paradigm. It says, I am going to be genuinely myself. I will honor my own truth, and I will trust that the right people, the ones who are meant to be in my life, will appreciate and resonate with that. This path is terrifying, I won't deny it. It requires real, gut-wrenching courage, not just the passive agreeableness we've been taught to value. The most generous and impactful thing you can possibly do for the world is to show others what authentic living actually looks like. When you finally stop performing and start being real, you grant everyone around you the unspoken permission to do the same. We live in a culture that showers praise on nice people, but in reality, we are starving for real people. We will defend our choice of pizza toppings with more passion and conviction than we defend our own core values. And then we have the audacity to wonder why our lives feel so hollow and empty. This brings us to what I call the cup overflow principle. You've heard the instruction on airplanes 1,000 times. Put on your own oxygen mask first before attempting to help others. There is a profound and life-altering wisdom embedded in that simple directive, a wisdom that applies to every single area of your life. The principle is this: you must fill your own cup first, so completely and so abundantly that it naturally and effortlessly overflows onto the people you love. When your own cup is empty, you have nothing authentic or genuine to give. Any attempt to give from an empty vessel results in offerings tainted with resentment, obligation, manipulation, or desperation. You're not giving from a place of genuine abundance. You're giving to get. It's ironic, isn't it? We will religiously plug in our phones every single night, ensuring they have a full charge for the day ahead. Yet we will run ourselves down to 2% emotional battery and then wonder why we're irritable and short-tempered with everyone we encounter. Living authentically means you must start paying meticulous attention to what fills your cup versus what drains it. Then you must begin to make conscious, intentional choices about where you invest your most precious and finite resource, your energy. This isn't a call to become selfish or self-centered. It is a call to become sustainably generous. When you prioritize taking care of yourself, you show up as the best possible version of yourself for the people in your life. You give from a place of overflow, not emptiness. You give from choice, not compulsion. You give from love, not fear. And here is another critical truth. The people who genuinely love you actually want your cup to be full. They don't want you to be a martyr, sacrificing your well-being for their temporary comfort. They want you to be thriving so you can contribute your unique and irreplaceable gifts to the world. If someone in your life becomes angry or resentful when you start taking care of yourself, that reaction tells you everything you need to know about the true nature of that relationship. Just notice how much better you treat others, how much more patient and kind you are when you've had enough sleep, eaten a good meal, and done something that you genuinely enjoy. Self-care isn't a selfish indulgence. It is the responsible and necessary preparation for showing up authentically and lovingly in your relationships. We seem to know more about the routine maintenance of our cars than we do about the essential maintenance of our own emotional and spiritual well-being. Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to be effortlessly attractive? I'm not necessarily talking about physical beauty, but a certain magnetic quality in their presence that just naturally draws you in. There's a secret to this that nobody ever talks about. They have stopped placing the responsibility for their own happiness onto other people. When you live for yourself authentically, you begin to radiate this incredible, attractive energy. Why? Because you are not needy, you are not demanding, you are not manipulative, and you are not desperately seeking validation from external sources. You are just genuinely yourself, completely and utterly comfortable in your own skin. And that level of quiet confidence is absolutely magnetic. People pleasers, on the other hand, actually repel others on a subconscious level because there's an underlying transaction happening that everyone can sense, even if they can't articulate it. The unspoken contract reads, I'll make you comfortable if you'll approve of me. I'll agree with everything you say if you'll like me. I'll sacrifice my own preferences and desires if you'll promise to stay with me. It feels manipulative because it is manipulative. Authentic people are so attractive because they're not trying to get anything from you. They are already complete within themselves. They are sharing their light from a place of abundance rather than trying to use your light to fill their own internal void. It's the difference between a desperate salesperson aggressively trying to sell you something you don't want versus someone who is genuinely excited to share something valuable and life-changing that they have discovered. When you stop needing others to complete you, to validate you, or to make you happy, you paradoxically become the kind of person that others naturally want to be around. You are no longer an emotional drain on their resources. You become an emotional contribution. Think about the people you most enjoy spending time with. I'm willing to bet they aren't the ones who are constantly looking to you for approval. Authentic confidence is attractive. Desperate people pleasing is exhausting. We are instinctively drawn to people who seem comfortable in their own skin. Yet we spend the majority of our lives desperately trying to climb out of our doubt. So here it is. The official permission slip you've been waiting your entire life for. You have complete and total permission to be yourself. Not the polished, edited version that you think others want to see, but the real, raw, messy, and beautifully imperfect you. Most of us spend our lives waiting for someone else, a parent, a partner, a boss to give us permission to have our own preferences, to hold our own opinions, to establish our own boundaries. But here's the secret that nobody tells you. You are the only one who can grant that permission. Living authentically means finally recognizing that you are the sole authority over your own life. You get to decide what you like. You get to decide what you value. You get to decide how you spend your precious time. It's terrifying because with that authority comes immense responsibility. But it is also incredibly, breathtakingly freeing. We will spend 20 minutes researching reviews for a restaurant, but we will choose a life path based on what sounds nice or impressive to other people. What would happen if you started making major life decisions based on what is actually true for you? This doesn't mean you become an inconsiderate jerk. In fact, it means you become genuinely considerate for the first time, because you are finally considering your authentic self as a valid and important part of the equation. When you honor your true self, you can finally show up in your relationships as a whole person, instead of just playing a role you were assigned. You are probably asking for permission in areas of your life where you are the only authority that truly matters. Every single person on this planet is given a mission that is uniquely different from all others. Your specific and unrepeatable combination of experiences, talents, and perspectives creates a contribution that only you can make. But if you are busy trying to be who others want you to be, that unique mission gets buried under a mountain of expectations and the suffocating weight of people-pleasing. It's like being given a rare, one-of-a-kind instrument capable of creating the most beautiful music the world has ever heard, but keeping it locked away in a case because you're afraid that some people might not like the sound. Your authenticity isn't just about your own happiness. It is the very thing you are here to contribute to the world. The world desperately needs your specific way of seeing, your unique way of thinking, your personal way of creating. When you live inauthentically, you are depriving everyone of the gift that only you can offer. Think about the people who have influenced you the most. They weren't trying to be like everyone else. They were courageously and unapologetically being themselves, and it was that very authenticity that made their impact possible. Living for yourself means honoring the unique mission you are here to fulfill. It means following your passions and using your strengths where they will have the greatest return. Not on your bank account, but on your time and energy. You do this not because it's easy, but because it is necessary. There are problems in this world that only you are equipped to solve with your specific set of experiences. And now, let's talk about one of the most misunderstood concepts in all of human relationships: boundaries. Most people think of boundaries as walls that we build to keep people out. But healthy boundaries are not walls. They are bridges that create the possibility for deeper, more authentic connection. When you can clearly and kindly communicate your limits, your needs, and your capabilities, you eliminate all the toxic guesswork from your relationships. Instead of people having to walk on eggshells, constantly wondering what you're really thinking or feeling, they know exactly where they stand with you. This clarity creates a safe space where authentic relationship can actually flourish. When you learn to say no to the things that do not align with your truth, your yes becomes incredibly meaningful and trustworthy. We will set crystal clear boundaries with our Wi-Fi passwords, but we allow our emotional and energetic boundaries to be breached constantly. Learning to say the simple phrase, "that doesn't work for me," is not mean. It is honest, clear communication that ultimately serves everyone involved. The most loving thing you can do for someone is to be clear about who you are and what you need. This allows them the opportunity to love the real you, not the performance you've been putting on. It also models healthy self-respect, which is a gift in itself. Boundaries are not selfish. They are the very foundation upon which all mutual respect is built. I guarantee that your healthiest and most fulfilling relationships are the ones with the clearest and most respected boundaries. Here is a truth that will either be the most liberating thing you've ever heard, or it will make you deeply uncomfortable. Almost everything that happens to us in our lives is in some way a result of our choices. Now, this doesn't mean that terrible things don't happen to good people. But even when we are victims of circumstance, we are still choosing how to respond. We are choosing what to focus on. We are choosing what meaning to create from our experiences. This isn't about assigning blame. It is about reclaiming your power. The moment you accept complete and total responsibility for your life, you reclaim the power to change it. No more waiting for someone else to come along and make you happy. No more waiting for circumstances to magically align to create the life you want. You hold the power. We will spend more time choosing what to watch on Netflix than we do consciously choosing how to respond to life's greatest challenges. But in every single moment, you are making choices. You are choosing what to think, what to believe, what to focus on, and how to act. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl discovered this profound truth while imprisoned in a Nazi concentration camp. He realized that even in the most extreme and horrific circumstances imaginable, we retain the ultimate power to choose our inner response. When you truly embrace this level of responsibility, you become unstoppable because your happiness and your peace of mind no longer depend on external conditions. Look at any area of your life that you feel stuck in or want to change. I promise you, if you look closely enough, you will find choices that you can make right here and right now to begin moving in a different direction. I want you to start thinking of yourself as the CEO of your own emotional energy. Just like a good CEO diligently audits how the company's resources are being invested, you must begin to track what drains your energy versus what energizes your authentic self. Most people are living in a state of emotional bankruptcy because they are constantly investing their precious energy into depleting activities, relationships, and thought patterns rather than into restorative ones. We obsess over our phone's battery life, but we completely ignore our own emotional battery. And then we wonder why we feel so perpetually exhausted and burnt out. So here's your personal audit. What activities, what people, what environments leave you feeling more like yourself? And which ones leave you feeling less like yourself, like you've just put on a heavy costume? What restores your sense of authenticity? And what makes you feel like you're performing for an audience? Living for yourself means becoming ruthlessly strategic about how you invest your emotional resources. When you feel that familiar sensation of being drained, ask yourself two questions. What am I afraid of right now? And what can I do to create more certainty for myself? Usually, that feeling of emotional drain comes from trying to control things that are far outside of your sphere of influence. Your body is constantly giving you feedback, sending you information about what aligns with your authentic self and what doesn't. You just have to learn to listen. This leads us to the final and most crucial skill: authentic communication mastery. This is the skill that has the power to transform every single one of your relationships. It is the art of speaking your truth with both love and respect. Most of us operate under the false belief that we have to choose between being honest and being kind. But authentic communication is the masterful blend of both. The effectiveness of your communication is not measured by your intentions. It is measured by the feedback you receive. If people are consistently misunderstanding you, or if they frequently get defensive in conversations with you, it's a sign that your communication approach needs adjustment. Authentic communication always starts with radical honesty with yourself about what you are truly thinking and feeling. Then the work is to find a way to express that truth in a manner that serves the relationship, rather than just venting your raw emotions. Here's a simple framework: know your truth. Speak your truth with care, and then allow others to have their own reaction without you trying to manage or control it. Think about the most satisfying and connecting conversations you've ever had. They probably involved someone speaking honestly and vulnerably about what truly mattered to them. So, where does all this lead? It leads to the present moment. This is where authenticity becomes a practical, daily discipline. Living for yourself is not a one-time decision. It is a moment-by-moment practice of staying connected to your true self in real time. Most of us live our autopilot, simply reacting to the world based on old conditioning and ingrained patterns, rather than responding authentically from our core. The practice of mindfulness can transform your relationship with yourself because it creates a sacred pause, a space between stimulus and response. In that space lies your freedom to choose. Throughout your day, practice these little micro moments of checking in. Ask yourself, how am I really feeling right now? What do I actually need in this moment? Am I acting from a place of authenticity, or am I falling back into old habits of performance? These tiny moments of awareness, practiced consistently, will compound over time into a life of profound authenticity. We will check our phones 50 times a day for notifications, but we rarely, if ever, check in with ourselves. What if you started to treat your own inner state with the same level of attention and importance that you give to your social media feed? Present moment authenticity means catching yourself in the act of people pleasing. It means noticing the exact moment you begin to disconnect from your own truth. The goal isn't perfection. It's simply awareness. Every single moment that you recognize your own inauthenticity is a golden opportunity to choose differently. Use creative outlets as tools for emotional regulation. Listening to music, writing in a journal, taking photos, moving your body. These are not luxuries. They are essential tools for staying connected to your authentic self. Right now, in this very moment, just notice what you are actually feeling and thinking without judgment. That is the practice. That is present moment authenticity. That here's what happens when you finally make the commitment to live for yourself. Your authenticity will create a ripple effect that touches everyone and everything around you. By having the courage to be genuinely yourself, you give others the unspoken permission to do the same. Your unique mission, the one that only you can fulfill, can only be brought to life through your authenticity. The problems you are meant to solve, the people you are meant to reach, the contributions you're meant to make, none of it can happen if you're busy trying to be someone else. Living for yourself paradoxically becomes the greatest gift you can ever give to others. When you fill your own cup first, you have something real, something pure, to pour out into the world. When you honor your own truth, you show others what real courage looks like. Growth always comes from discomfort, and living authentically requires immense courage. But the discomfort of living authentically is temporary. The regret of not living authentically is the kind of pain that can last a lifetime. You are here for a reason. Your specific, unrepeatable combination of experiences and perspectives creates a value that only you can bring to this world. Stop waiting for permission. Stop desperately seeking approval. Stop trying to be perfect. Start being real. Start honoring your truth. Start living the one and only life that is actually yours. The world needs you, not the version that everyone else wants you to be, but the real, the authentic, the courageously imperfect you. Your authenticity is your gift to the world. Don't keep it hidden any longer.